Oh, excuse me, I'm losing my voice already. Hello, everybody. You're probably wondering, what do I mean by ask and you shall receive? Actually, I think that's only to my YouTube folks that I put that as the title of the video. So I titled it Ask and You Shall Receive. Actually, I did a video on that, one of my earliest videos, and the very few people who saw that video, because it was one of my first, really liked it. Anyway, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. What am I offering here when you receive? What did you ask for? Well, you might not have asked for it, but I had a few people from England who hit me up and said, hey, the times for the webinar that you're doing, free webinar for transforming yourself, is not in any really good times for people in the UK. And since I do get a lot of viewers from the United Kingdom and even a lot of clients from the UK, I want to make sure that I honor that. And so I'm adding another date for the webinar tomorrow that should be much more compatible if you're in England and you want to do the webinar, the free webinar, Transforming Yourself. I want to make sure that that would be available to you. So that is available. You can sign up right now. It is for tomorrow, Thursday. It should be, if we did it correctly and we got the time zones correctly, it should be in the evening, early evening, like 6 o'clock. So hopefully you're able to get off work and watch the webinar. And so anyway, the webinar has been going great. What the webinar is basically about, it teaches you about the self-concept model, which is what Transforming Yourself is. It's the self-concept model created by Steve Andreas. In fact, it was Steve Andreas, he was one of the ones who liked that video. It was a very, very early video that was, can't remember the exact title, something like Don't Be Afraid to Ask. If you don't ask for something, there's almost 100% chance you're not going to get it. So be assertive, never be afraid to ask for something. The worst that somebody can tell you is no. And when people ask me for things, whether it's with Life Mastery Gym or pretty much anything, I never get mad at people for that, because if they're asking me, they're basically also giving me permission to say no. If you're demanding something from me, now that's a different story. That doesn't feel too good. So I try not to demand things from people either, but I'm not afraid to ask people for things. And it's amazing how far you can get, or how much stuff you can get, or whatever it is that you're asking for. It's really amazing just by asking how much you can get, or how far you can get with just asking. So many people are just afraid to ask. And so somebody asked me, or it was a few people who asked me from England and said, hey, could you put on a different date that was more compatible with the time zone in the UK? And I said, sure, yeah, why not? If you want to see this webinar, I want to make sure that you get a chance to see it. So we do have a webinar coming up in an hour and 40 minutes. And if you want to enroll in that free webinar, just click the link right here. There's two sets of links. Some people know what this model is all about. Some people know what Transforming Yourself is. And if you're ready to do that, there's another link down there where you can just go ahead and enroll in the program. Remember, we are closing this enrollment on Saturday. Saturday evening will be the last time that you can enroll in this program. And then for the webinar, we have two this evening. So one that's in less than 2 hours, and then another one that comes around about 3 hours after that. And then there are going to be 3 more tomorrow, and then that's it for the webinars. We're shutting the webinar down. And then, of course, Saturday is the last day that you can sign up for Transforming Yourself. Now, what are you going to get out of the webinar? What you're going to get out of the webinar is you're going to understand yourself better than you probably have ever understood yourself. You're going to understand people and yourself better than probably 95 to 98% of the population understands themselves. How do you create your sense of self? And how does that affect pretty much everything that you do? And somebody asked me a question today, well, is your core beliefs, how does that affect your beliefs about yourself? Your identity is the strongest, most powerful belief that you create or that you make. And a lot of people probably don't normally think of their self-concept or their sense of self or their ego, their identity, their self-image, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much all the same thing. Most people don't think about that as a belief, but it is indeed a belief. And if you don't think that it is, then watch this webinar. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I break this down why it is a belief. Now, it is the most powerful belief. And why is that? Well, it transcends space and time. I get much more into this in the webinar, but what does that mean even? Okay, that means that you have, as far as you can remember, you've always had a sense of self. Can you remember not having a sense of self? We can't, because we start to organize our memories around that time that we start to develop a sense of self, which is a generalization, and you can also refer to it as a belief. So when you think of yourself when you were younger, you say when I was younger. You don't say when he was younger, or you wouldn't say when she was younger. But you have changed dramatically. A lot of your beliefs have changed. Your physical body has changed tremendously. So much about you has changed since you were a child, but you still refer to yourself as when I was. So that's how it transcends space, and that's how it transcends time. Now, going forward, when you think about the future, you say, I will go to the store, or I will go to Hawaii on Sunday. I'm actually going to Hawaii on Sunday. So I will say, I am going to Hawaii on Sunday. I don't say he will go to Hawaii on Sunday. So this belief, the self-concept, stays together through time. Now, when I land in Hawaii on Sunday, I'm still going to have the same sense of self, even though I'm in a different location. And it doesn't matter where I go in the world, I'm still going to feel like me. Why? Because that generalization, that belief of who I am, that sense of self, carries through space. So what do you think happens when you learn how you're creating that belief to begin with? And once you know how you're creating it, you can reverse engineer it to create the sense of self that you want. Now, what happens when you create the sense of self that you want? And that sense of self is, you're obviously going to create a sense of self that has to do with the qualities that you value. Okay, you might look at other people and be, let's be honest here, we all get a little jealous and envious at times. So we might look at someone else and say, you know, wow, they have this quality of they're assertive, they're intelligent, they're whatever, and I want to be like that, but I don't feel like I'm like that. Well, what if you could actually transform into having that quality? Now you might be saying, is this the fake it till you make it? Is this affirmations? No, I don't do any of that stuff. That is actually very harmful, I think. Affirmations, a friend of mine called it a Trojan horse, and I agree with that. So it's not fake it till you make it, it's the real deal. How do you instill those qualities in yourself? I can show you exactly how to do this. And you're using real data. You're using real life experiences that you've had that you're not coding properly. Coding is everything. Because there are qualities of you that you're certain about, and you're coding them in a certain way. And there are qualities of yourself that you're uncertain about. If you have qualities about yourself that you're uncertain about, but these are qualities you wish you had, these are qualities you highly value, what happens when you experience that? Self-esteem and confidence go down. Well, what happens when you believe you are a quality that you value, and you're basing that on actual life experience that you've had? Confidence goes up, self-esteem goes up. But what happens when confidence and self-esteem goes up in those areas? You're willing to try more. You're willing to do more. You will succeed more. You believe, when you believe you can, you will, is what starts to happen. And it's not believe you can because I keep telling myself, I believe I can. No. It's I believe I can because I have the life experience, and I'm coding it in such a way in my programming that lets me know that this is certain, this is true, and I believe it. Now, I'm packing a ton of technology into these very broad explanations. So, and I don't have much more time. I have to get off this video, but this is what this training is all about. And it's something that I can teach you, and I do teach people, and the people who I'm teaching it to, they are having amazing transformations. I know I had amazing transformations when I first started learning it from my mentor who created it, Steve Andreas. He's actually passed away now. He asked me to teach this, and I'm so happy to be able to carry this technology forward. And when I say technology, I don't mean like electronic technology. I mean mental technology. So he mentored me, and it freed me in so many ways. And my life has been nothing short of absolutely amazing ever since I've learned this technology. And I get to now pass it on to others. I still use it for myself. I still use it with my clients. This is 95% of what I do with my coaching clients is this model. So if you're a coach, you're going to love this. You're going to find it so useful for your clients. I have coaches all the time tell me how amazing it is when they use this with their clients. And like I said, I still use it with myself. It's pretty much my NLP practice now. You don't need to be an NLPer to do it. You don't need to be a coach to do it. Anybody can learn it, and you don't need practice partners to do it either. You can do this at home alone, just doing it. Okay, looks like I got some comments here. I have a few minutes. I can see about answering them. Oh, thank you, Maha Dazzle. I am certainly grateful to be carrying Steve's legacy forward. And this is what I like to say too about people who join this program, because it's not just an online training and it's you sit and watch videos and then you're done. There's a Facebook group that I have where I offer ongoing support and group coaching calls. So what I'm trying to do here is to replicate the experience that I had with Steve Andreas as much as possible with my students so that they can get the same benefits and transformations and transform themselves into the person they want to be, just like I was able to do, so that you can do more, become more, be that ideal self that you know you can be. And when you're there, you will do more in life. You'll want to challenge yourself more, especially if you're living the values as qualities of who you are. Not only do you get higher self-esteem and higher confidence, you get a greater sense of purpose, a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment in life. So it feels like a calling, let me put it that way, to do this. And so I'm grateful to be a part of Steve's legacy, and I'm grateful to call my students part of Steve's legacy as well. As well, when I help you get better with people. Yes, and the reason why it will help you communicate better with people is because you will understand them better. And when you start to understand how we all have created, the dirty word for this is the ego. A lot of people go, ooh, ego. There's nothing, you're going to have an ego, so you're just gonna have to get over that. But nobody likes talking about it. Ego has such a negative connotation, and some people call it the self-image. Some people call it, well, there's different words for it, but we call it self-concept because it's a pretty neutral sounding term. When you understand how you create your own, you're also going to understand how other people create their self-concept. When you understand that, your communication will get so much better. And NLP in general is a communication model. So you can't, if you practice NLP and you learn NLP, you can't not become a better communicator. It's just built into the training. It's built into the technology. So no, it's not just for the individual self and beliefs. I mean, that's where we start. That's where we focus. But you can definitely bring this into communication. It's just a matter of putting your attention there. All right. Self-concepting, yeah, very good. I'm guessing you're talking about, yes, I am talking about the self-concept model. It's on Antonio. Hey, how's it going, Antonio? All right, if anybody has another question or two, I'll go ahead and hang on for about another minute or two. Always tell myself I'm not going to do this for very long. I just had one announcement and then all these people start coming on. Remember, my one announcement is that we're adding another time and for the webinar for people in that's better suited for the time zone in England. So if you're watching this from England or you're watching this later from England, we did add another time. So check that out. It's something that you should be done with work the I scheduled it. All right. If anyone is on the fence about it, grab it. Oh, nice. Thanks, Antonio. I've used it and noticed a huge shift in how people are reacting to me. Great. Yeah, that is another thing. People will start to notice, like, you're different. What's different about you? But it's a good different. So it is. This is the most powerful NLP model that I have ever learned, and I've studied with the top trainers in the world, the top teachers of NLP in the world. And I'll go even further than that and say that this is the most powerful model I've learned, period. So in any sort of, in the context of personal development and self-improvement. So beyond NLP, this is the absolute most powerful model. So get on the webinar. If you're familiar with this and you know that you're ready to start, if you want immediate access to the excuse me, to the training, just click the link below. There is an enrollment link if you're ready to enroll in the training. If you want to check out the webinar, then do that. Like I said, we got one that's coming up in about an hour and a half, and then another one later, even later tonight, and then 3 tomorrow. And then that's it. There's no more webinars after that. And then again, the training, the enrollment for Transforming Yourself will close on Saturday. So you want to get in before that. All right, I don't see any more questions. I'm going to try to run out of here now. I hope to see you on the other side. Like I said, I do ongoing group coaching, and then if you need support, if you need help in the Facebook group, I'm there to help you. I do moderate that. I do answer the questions that people put in there. So I want to make sure everybody's getting this and everybody's benefiting from it. Okay, check out the webinar, and if you know that you're ready to do this, go ahead and sign up for the training. I'll see you soon. Take care.